Hi there. Wow. Live on YouTube. Actually, I haven't been live on YouTube for a bit and the whole system seems to have changed. So yeah, here we go. We've been a new month, completely new ideas, and it'd be interesting to see what you think of where I've gone with this. And what we'll do is we'll go straight into it. This isn't going to be a long video. It's really a reintroduction of where we are. And if I now stop that, and that was the end of May. This was the end of June. This was the end of June. So there we were. That was the end of June, and then of course there was a big event in the media composer world, and it was the Westworld competition run by Spitfire, and it caused a bit of a storm really, and loads of discussions, and actually it was brilliant. I really liked the result, and it was good. It was good to see someone pushing the boundaries and doing something that no one else had thought of. And really, for me, that's what creativity is all about. But it certainly got me thinking. I'd never really come across chiptunes before. I suppose my background is very much orchestral and classical, but chiptunes I'd never come across. And I thought, actually, for the beginning of this month, I'd have a go at chiptunes. And then I discovered that I wasn't very good at it. And there is a skill to it, but it made me really sort of revisit all of my electronic sounds and my synth sounds. And so the beginning of the month, so you had that great big rousing end to June, and then at the beginning of July you had this. So it's a very, very simple tune, all electronic, apart from the double basses. And it's interesting because you don't necessarily notice the double basses, but they never hit the tonic. They hit the third, which puts everything into first inversion, and that sort of has a strange feel to it. So it's creating this strange atmosphere. Anyway, I'm going to quickly go through all of these. One of the big things about the competition is that you suddenly became aware of lots of other composers. I think 11,000 people entered the competition. I didn't, and actually, you know, a lot of the things that the judges picked up on I would have completely missed. So Yeah, it was really good, but you became aware of other composers. So I've started following lots of people, and actually a huge respect for anyone who took part, and also for those who've given their opinions. I think it's really fascinating, and you learn so much listening to what everyone else has to say. But I became aware of a competition that's run, or not a competition, but it's a community that writes music that has a challenge every week. And last week it was about rainbows, and I called the next day I see, as in I see. I suppose it would be India Charlie, but bows, and that was alluding to that. Although I haven't actually taken part in this yet, but it was just to remind me that it existed. Okay, so here we go. This was this. So you can see where it's going. Then actually, I suppose I've got this huge sort of something pulling me back to real instruments, and I went back and I went ethnic again. So I called the next one Uilleann Tale, and this is the Uilleann pipes, sort of like an Irish bagpipe, and this is this new melody. So there you go. We've now got the strings, we've got the bagpipes. Thinking about ethnic instruments, of course, the thing that always comes to mind for me is the duduk, and that's what I added the next day. I've called it Slow Return because we've got that very simple tune gradually making its way back in. We'll listen to the whole of this so you can hear that. So that has a completely different feel, doesn't it? It sounds like it's getting bigger. The tune comes back and you can hear that electronic sound that had the melody at the beginning. It almost sounds like there was a film, I think it was in the 80s, probably the 80s, called Gremlins. It's that sort of sound. Really, really good tune. I think it was Jerry Goldsmith wrote the music too. Excellent. Right, okay. Then, of course, ethnic instruments that had to introduce or reintroduce the oud, and I called this one Oud's That. So you can see I've got those ethnic instruments. We've taken away the Uilleann pipes and moved that melody into the oud. Got to introduce the woodwind. So gradually the orchestra's taking over, but there's always been a little bit of electronic interest there. And one of the things that I've been thinking about probably for 20 years. What year are we now? No, probably more than that. is a human interaction with technology. And it seems to be coming to a head at the moment, or it seems to be arriving somewhere that people have been thinking about for that length of time, probably 30 years really. And this is, I suppose, in the background of this, but we've got the woodwind here, and I call this Trinket Box. And we've now got the double basses doing rhythms, so we're actually coming back into very much my home territory. And yeah, it's all sounding very, very familiar, but it's difficult, isn't it? How do you sound very different? And I suppose that's what I was doing this morning. I'd been looking at all my old catalogue, and I just rediscovered lots of dubstep type things, especially with looking at the electronic things again. And today I thought I'd have the duduk, and then I'd reintroduce some sort of dubstep rhythms as well. So let's just remind ourselves where we started. And that's where we started. And then today we ended up here. What did you think of that? That's very, very different from where we started. And actually, it is all about the journey and that gradual process, the evolving, the evolution of an idea, and where it can take you without being too restricted. And I know at the beginning, I suddenly thought, this is gonna be holding me back. But actually, I'm heading off in a direction, and got no idea where I'm going to end up. But we'll find out. We've got another 20. I reckon we've probably got another 24 days left in the month. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to do. I suppose I'm still trying to work out how I'm going to be doing how regularly I'm going to be doing the videos. I like the live streaming, so I've somehow got to work out how to do that, a schedule of live streams. But anyway, let me know what you think. Please get in touch, and I'll leave at the end. I'll leave the end screen has all my contact details, so please do contact me, and we'll finish off. We'll play out to let's play out to Hum Doozy. And in fact, if I do that, and we'll see you soon.